Good evening and welcome back to the Shadows of Drakenheim. My name is Monty Martin and this is the Dungeon Dudes weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition live stream campaign.
And I'm Kelly McLaughlin playing Wilhelm Wolfsbane, or Wilhelm von Kessel, the human swashbuckler rogue. Haven't decided which one to do yet.
And I'm Jill Denitis playing Rudy Whitaker, the Shifter Eldritch Knight.
And Joe Gorman playing Wrath, the Aasimar Warlock.
Thank you for joining us once again. If you are just tuning in for the very first time, welcome. We are the Dungeon Dudes, and Kelly and I post new videos every other Tuesday and every Thursday on our YouTube channel, where we cover everything D&D, including advice for players and guides for Dungeon Masters. So check us out there at youtube.com/dungeondudes.
You can also join us on Tuesday nights when we record the campaign live on Twitch. You can check us out from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. And you can watch the video episodes on YouTube, and you can also check us out as an audio-only podcast available at Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify.
Well, thank you as well for bearing with us as we are back to playing live in person. As you may notice, we have some new fancy audio technology, or maybe not. We would just like to take this moment to thank our beloved SM58s for their years of loyal service. But now we have cleared the field and we have upgraded. As a fair warning to all of you that are watching with us live, this is our first time using these for our stream, so we might run into unforeseen technical issues or audio related issues. So please let us know your feedback, if, you know, based on how things sound, how things are working. If you notice anything, we would be it really helps us out if you can let us know your thoughts on our new microphone setup, because this has been made possible thanks to the incredible generosity of our patrons and our backers on Kickstarter. We've been able to get these nice wireless kits. Hopefully we've got enough batteries. So again, just a little bit of a disclaimer for tonight that this is our first time rolling with this new audio setup, and please bear with us for the next couple of weeks as we get used to using these. You can probably expect the audio quality to gradually improve, but hopefully it's a big improvement just off the bat right there. With that though, finally, another note for those of you who have backed our Dungeons of Drakenheim Kickstarter. Our backer kit is currently live now. Check your emails, make sure that you check your spam, make sure that you double check that your email address is correct in Kickstarter so that you do get that, because for everyone that has filled out our backer kit, our Dungeons of Drakenheim playtest document is now available for all of our backers. For the next couple of weeks, we are looking for feedback on some of the new mechanics, monsters, magic items, and spells, as well as a preview of our new the urban exploration rules for Dungeons of Drakenheim. So if you did back the Kickstarter, be sure to head up onto your backer kit, because you'll be able to download the playtest packet and a high-resolution map of Drakenheim right now. With that, though, let us return to the ruins.
Drakenheim is no more. For 15 years, we foolishly believed the madness and mayhem of that crumbling city was confined to the ruins. We were wrong. Insidious horrors have crept out of the shadow of Drakenheim into a world unprepared for such nightmares. Tales of strange magic, swirling haze, and unspeakable terrors echo through the villages and towns surrounding that accursed place. Now, the Dusk Wardens, a new band of heroes, are tasked with driving out the seeping tendrils of the spreading darkness before it takes root.
Welcome back to the Shadows of Drakenheim. When last we left our heroes, they were facing crisis in Castleholm as their heist of the wagon of the Hooded Lantern's delirium-based weapons went horribly awry. Running the wagon through the streets of through the dusty streets of Castleholm, our heroes decided to turn that wagon around and head towards the Kesselwald Lodge, where the Steelfang mercenary companies are headquartered. Of course, in the process, they were being pursued by Steelfang mercenaries
Tracks.
who turned out to be werewolves, who attacked them, killed their horses, took their wagon, took their equipment, ended up knocking out Rudy, ended up capturing our heroes and bringing them back to the lodge. So I guess you guys got where you wanted to go, but not the way you wanted to get
you don't
there.
understand the intricacies of our plan, Monty. We're trying to keep you on your toes.
Everything is going perfectly as planned.
Just as planned.
Yep.
Okay, let's see how that works out for you guys. Given the precariousness of the situation, our heroes were able to persuade Rickard Steelfang, the honorary leader of the Steelfang Mercenary Company, as appropriate to fits the name, to allow to basically make a deal that they've proposed a double cross of the Countess von Kleinkessel. Let's see if that deal is going to work out. Our heroes are now at the Kesselwald Lodge, under close guard from the Steelfang mercenaries. Rudy has brought back Elias Drexel as well. And so over the course of the night, the four of you were all holed up in separate rooms in the manor. You were able to communicate a little bit with each other through your familiars, through your menagerie of pets. And unfortunately, Wrath, haunted by nightmares of a ravening wolf, has not received the benefits of a long rest, but I figure somewhere in there you got like an hour of a sleep, so I'll give you a short rest.
A cat nap, if you will.
Right.
Thank you. I need it.
Okay. The night passes with each of you kept individually in your rooms, given some measure of privacy, but from there kept alone, otherwise kept alone, and not able to speak with each other except through whatever messages you can relay through your familiars.
I feel like I cuddled up all night with Bruce and Houdini just so that I was kind of with you guys in spirit.
Yeah, Bruce probably gnawed on your leg a little bit, just to taste
It
it.
woke me up several times.
Yeah.
As the dawn breaks through the night, you could hear the howl of wolves outside. And as the dawn breaks, you're able to look out through the windows and see groups of Steelfangs coming back with dragging the carcass of several deer back in towards the kitchen. It's only a short while later, after the crack of dawn, that there's a heavy knock on each of your doors, and you are each brought one by one downstairs to the sitting room of Kesselwald Lodge. The sitting room itself is a large and very finely appointed room where the entirety of the room has been set with wood paneling that has been carved with pastoral scenes in intricate detail. So so you'll see one of people working in the fields, one panel of people hunting, one people of the common folk living their lives. Wilhelm, you're reminded of your father saying, you know, this is just a reminder to show you of all the things that the common folk have to do, what they do in their daily lives. It's a little fantastical as far as those things go. There is a grand hearth, and also in this chamber is a set of now quite worn, but at one time they would have been very well made, upholstered couches all arranged around, and carved tables, as well as the big fiery hearth that is lit, as well as the heads of several hunting trophies of various beasts, including one particularly ornate piece that is over the fireplace of the 3 heads of a chimera. As you are brought into the rooms one by one, the Steelfang soldiers sit you down individually at the table where several chairs have been arranged. It's a rounded table in the room that's just off the hearth, and they bring the 3 of you down, and Elias Drexel. They've taken your weapons. As before, they haven't returned any of your weapons or other equipment to you, but you are not bound.
Do I still have the axe that I magically brought forth?
Unless the question would be is where is it? Are you concealing it on your person, or are you leaving it in your room?
Because I guess I brought it back in front of Rickard, and he let me take it with me.
Yeah.
But I would keep it on me if they haven't tried taking it.
Are you
away
wearing
from
it
me.
openly?
Yes.
In that case, when they do go to bring you out, like, you're a tricky one, old mum, but that axe stays in your room.
I can put it down in my room, but just know that I can get it any time.
Fair's fair.
And I leave it in my room for now.
They bring you all down, and one of the steel fangs brings out a pitcher of water, some wooden cups, and a bowl of very thin gruel for each of you.
And sorry, they're bringing us one at a time?
They bring you all down one at a time, and once all of you are down, including Elias Drexel, they bring out some bowls of gruel, some water, some moldy bread, and it's not moldy bread, it's just day old bread, basically. And there's a bit of cheese and some questionable sausage.
I prestidigitate them to taste better.
You know, we used to have feasts here at the lodge.
You know, prestidigitation deals with the flavor of food, but you know how you can still feel the texture of what you're eating?
Yeah.
Runny eggs.
We're not having no, it's sausage.
Elk.
Oh, you're right. It does have the texture of runny eggs.
Let's do elk. I had some elk last night.
Oh, it was not. No, we talked about this. It was bad elk.
Oh, yes, bad elk. Right.
We used to have great feasts here at the lodge, actually. It was quite amazing. I hope one day I can treat you two to a proper hunting feast.
I would like that. That would be mighty fine. You know, I could eat one whole of those deers.
You can eat a whole deer?
Yeah. Of course I can.
Rudy, I've seen you eat. I didn't know. That's a lot of deer.
I've been keeping it polite for y'all, but I have a hefty appetite, all right?
Elias Drexel chimes in. An entire deer over the course of how long?
I mean, how long is dinner?
Generally, you're seated for 2.5 to 3 hours.
Yeah, about that.
At least in my household, we had strict rules on when you went to dinner, when you had to be finished dinner. It was rather intense.
There are 3 Steelfang warriors clad in splint mail, both carrying pairs of axes that are standing guard at the posts of the room. Elias Drexel says under his breath, "They haven't mishandled any of you over the night, have they?"
No.
No,
All right.
they just left us clear alone.
Very well. Very well. He looks up at the 3 posted steel fangs. We're not going to get any privacy to discuss things as things are. But now we're their prisoners.
No, we are working with them.
We are equals against the Countess.
We'll see about that. Do you have a plan?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we do.
All right, my lord. Elias Drexel otherwise eats in silence.
Wrath.
I'm going to do my best to convey the elk plan to Elias Drexel. So as we eat, I just sort of like side eye Elias Drexel, and in his mind, you must continue eating. I will tell you.
He gives you a knowing glance when he realizes what's going on. It's clearly someone that's familiar with Academy antics. What do you tell him?
We understand the danger and risk of trusting Rickard. He is not an ally, but a tool. We must find the opportune moment to strike. It is not now, but be ready and vigilant. It may come soon. We must use him to attack the Countess, although our betrayal may come before that. We have 5 days.
Elias Drexel scratches the side of his head, and as he scratches the side of his head, he turns his arm a little bit, and you can see that he's wearing armor and bracers, but you can see that there's the flash of a dagger under his wrist.
Enjoy your meal.
Not knowing that any of this happened, I turn to Elias and I go, we're going to find better elk. The elk here is terrible.
And eat your gruel.
But I need to let him know about the elk.
He knows about the elk.
How could he...
You know, one time when we were out hunting with my sons, we found the biggest elk, much bigger than these ones that they have here. We can find better elk, no problem.
You must be quite the breadwinner.
You must be quite the elk.
I bet you bring better elk for your family
That's it.
than they bring.
I do. I provide. I provide.
As you finish the sentence, well, I must tell you, having hunted in both Tierhaven and in the Castlewald, the thing is they grow real big down Tierhaven. Well, in the Octenwald, they get big, but I'll tell you, up here in Castlewald, they get fat. And they, you taste the meat, the flavor that comes in them. Oh, that's something else. Tell you, it's one thing to have a big appetite, but if you want the finer things in life, that's why the Von Kessels built their little house up here. Fine hunting, fine land, fine mead, fine wine, everything good up here. You get fat off the land. Now.
And I look at him up and down, like, clearly, I'm like,
This
it
time
looks like you hunt a lot, sir.
Well, keeps you feeling alive, right? Okay, so, he says, sitting down. Looks up at one of the soldiers. He pulls up the cup. I don't have a cup in front of me. What are you drinking? It looks at the water. Water? What? Cox just crowed, so I'd say let's bring out some mead to do our dealings in the morning. Yeah? All right. Yeah, bring it out. Bring some of the stuff that we stole from town.
Do you have any tea?
Would you like some milk?
With my tea, yes, if you have any. But judging by the look you just gave me, I'm going to assume that we're having mead. Mead sounds fine. Sorry for the question. I guess no tea. No tea. Do you have sugar? Sorry.
Your Majesty, unfortunately, your family stores that were here were a little past their prime once we got here. So, well, there was some salt and a little bit of, preserved stuff, and, I mean, the wine was good, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
For the 2 days it lasted.
Oh. Wow. Well, I guess mead it is. No more wine, no sugar. Nobody's upkeeping this place, I suppose.
Well, unfortunately, when me and the the pack showed up, the servant staff, they'd already kind of taken their leave of the place, you understand? So, maybe, you could issue some kind of royal decree and hire up some help for around here. We'd really appreciate it.
In my opinion, a strong leader takes care of their men, so I would say that it would be up to the leader of the pack to supply this place with good provisions.
We got good provisions, but we just don't have your little fineries down here. Us grunts have to live life on the front line. Keeps us hard,
I'm sure your grunts would be very, very happy if they had a few moments of finery in their lives. But we can address that later, since we're now working together.
Right, about that. Okay, so... Well, Commander Drexel, I understand that you've been, knocked down a peg or two, yeah? Elias Drexel grumbles in response, and the two men exchange a glance of familiarity. And Drexel responds, "You're a far cry yourself from your glory days, old man." He says, "Well, I still think the Steel Fangs are the finest company this side of the Middle Seas. So, if you ever have a contract that's not a suicide assignment, then maybe we can talk." So, tell me again. I got all four of you right here. I got my whole pack round with me. I'm currently under the employ of a fine woman and a countess who's up there in a castle with her own soldiers, who tells me that I should be bringing all four of you back into her alive. Tell me why I shouldn't do that.
Well, the Countess is not to be trusted. That much is obvious. There's a very good chance that she's going to double-cross you, or not pay you, or perhaps make you her loyal servant. Turn you into a vampire. Can werewolves turn into vampires?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Turn you into a vampire.
What's all this about this vampire stuff? Because this is the first I've heard of this.
Oh, I know that it's folklore, and probably, you might just think it's... No, you're a werewolf. Of course you know there's vampires. Yes. By the way, just a quick question. You are a werewolf. How did that come to be? Were you born a werewolf? Or how did you become a werewolf? I'd love to know.
Well... it's funny to end up in the employ of other creatures of the night, as it were. I guess, through my life, I've dealt with a fair number of vampires, boggles, goblins, all that other sort, so shouldn't be surprised. Of course, did wonder, especially with what she was doing with all them crystals she was buying off you, Mr. Drexel. I should tell you, Steel Fangs have a long-running reputation, and not an undeserved one. My papa, he was a werewolf. My grandpapa, he was. My great-grandma, she was. Runs in the blood. Vampires know about how the blood runs. They'd figure that out.
And have werewolves always been inferior to vampires and worked in their service? Is that common?
You're on thin ice.
It was just a question. I'm unfamiliar. So I was just wondering, you and your werewolves are in service to the vampires, correct?
Me and my pack are currently in the employ of the Countess, because she's the one that's been paying these, and you see the way these guys eat.
Servants to the vampires. Same words, just different context. Or same context, different words.
You better mind your tongue.
I'm just making conversation and trying to educate myself on the ways of werewolves and vampires. I'm not sure how the hierarchy works.
What my friend is trying to say is that there may only be room in this territory for one of you. And I can assure you the Countess has no plans to lower her region. And when she is done feeding on this land, as you would have to expand your territory.
Well, that's one thing that you're wrong about, because she can do whatever she thinks she can to my pack. Anything she wants. But the fact of the matter remains, she can't kill me. I can kill her.
Can you elaborate on that? That's incredibly interesting. She can't kill you.
No,
Why not?
because no one can kill me.
Is that a werewolf thing, or are you just that proud?
No one's invincible.
Fascinating.
I bet you've heard all the stories about how you get a silver sword to slay a werewolf. Yeah? Alrighty then.
Silver sword.
Don't write it down.
Hey!
Tell us the other thing.
Hey! Calls out. Shepherd! Bring out the silver. Let me show you something. Something real funky. One of the steel fangs comes out with a box, a wooden box that is clearly they're worried about as they pull it out. Rickard unlocks it, and inside is a silver sword. Go ahead, take a look. Silver, genuine.
May I?
Of course.
I'm gonna examine the sword. Good quality.
Alrighty. Now, stab me.
Is this a trick? Are you...
No, actually, you know what? Bring that chair over here. One of the steel fangs grabs a stool. He lays down, puts his head down. Go ahead, cut my head right off, right now.
It's more of Rudy's trick, but Wilhelm, you've learned a lot.
Would you do the honors?
I'll do it. Are you sure?
Oh yeah, for sure.
This is going really well.
Rudy's head of decapitation.
All
in
right.
our,
And I swing it back and I go for it.
Make an attack roll.
Oh, well.
You got advantage. He's at your mercy.
Yeah, 15.
It hits. The blade dives down, and you feel probably at the point where it would hit his spine. It cuts into the first bit of his flesh with like almost a sizzle, and then the blade bounces back, and there's an audible, there's a visible dent in the sword as it comes back, there's just kind of this ringing, and as Rickard Steelfang, he stands there and stops for a moment as the wound on the back of his neck knits itself closed.
Does the same thing apply to all the steel fangs? If I get... Can I try it on that one?
No, not them.
What?
That's why they're scared of the sword. I keep it to keep them in line.
Why you and why not them?
Fascinating.
Because I ain't no normal werewolf. I'm a Luke-a-roo. He says as just the flash of the silver fur comes through and the almost the image of the beast appears.
And I don't flinch at all. I'm like, I'm used to this. But I look at him like so puzzled.
So, if you happen to plan on any foolish kind of double-crossing sort of stuff on me or anything like that, you might want to just think twice about that first.
Well, I mean, I don't think we can defeat the Countess without you, so I don't know why we'd be planning it. anything like that. We need you in your company.
Well, I just don't understand why I shouldn't just turn y'all in for a hefty bonus.
I must understand you command loyal servants. You are immune to the one thing that your people, your kind, is weak to. And you work for the Countess. You could run Westamar.
Seems overrated if you ask me.
How two heads as yourself and the Countess can co-survive in such a small area. You've never thought to overthrow
We're
her.
remote enough, and everyone keeps their birth during a full moon. So, it works out.
What happens on the full moon?
That's the couple nights a week where I lose all control and decide to kill everyone around me, so we better figure things out before then.
That could come in handy for the Countess.
Now, Rickard, I got a question. Has any of your pack ever gone missing around here?
We've lost a few over the past little while. There's been that little rumor that Dulon run around, giving us a little bit of trouble.
Do you have any idea what Dulon is?
Nice. Oh, the locals used to think it was you.
So I've
I'm
heard.
at a loss.
Have you gone looking for it? Have the attacks been central to any specific location in Kesselholm?
I'm not paying too much attention to that. That's the boy's job.
Back to you and your men here. The same rules don't apply to them. Are they connected to you, and that's what causes the loyalty, or are they?
Well, all the members of the Steel Fangs are either ones that bear my curse or ones that spread it from me to another.
Is it true that? I mean, you're unkillable, but if something were to happen to you, do they lose the curse? Is that the only way for them to...
Oh, no. As long as, I got 2 pups in Illyria, I got 1 in Caspia somewhere, and I got at least 6 somewhere here in Westamar, so I imagine the curse will pass on to one of them.
And so the people who are cursed, they just hold that curse for their whole lives. There's no undoing it.
Well, my daddy thought about that for a while. Maybe if he could undo the curse. Comes up from time to time, but for the rest of us, for me, I guess when this old soul decides to give up the ghost, it'll be off to Chromax hunting grounds. There to join the Great Wolf. Imagine.
Well, since you're indestructible, then the next question, I guess, for our working together would be, what do you know about killing vampires?
You leave them out to bake in the sun.
Now, I can tell you that the Countess sleeps in the chambers beneath the tower, far underground. How would you propose we get her out in the sun?
I mean, I've thought a couple different ways of killing her, but I gotta admit, you've been doing a lot of talking there, Your Majesty, and I have not heard any reason why I shouldn't just get right over to her.
Well, you have probably faced your fair share of unworthy opponents. seeking glory by attacking and slaying Rickard the Great. Is that fair? Encountered those trophy hunters and do-gooders.
You know, it's a little bit of a funny thing. You know, way back in the day, I thought, oh, you know, I could be one of those do-gooders. I thought before the curse fell to me, maybe I could take up with the Silver Order and, you know, slay my pappy and undo the curse and all that good stuff. Fight for the flame. Yeah, I killed a lot of people that thought they could take me down. I killed a lot of people that didn't put up much of a fight. Killed a few that have. It's all the same.
Well, it only stands to reason that eventually someone will take over the Countess. She plays a very dangerous game with her identity. She hosts lavish parties, invites strangers from all over the world, including us. She invites death to her door, and one day it will answer. Now, when the Countess is dead, who will be the one that pays your bills?
I imagine whoever can afford it.
And we can. We destroy the Countess. We take back the castle. And you will have more riches than you would ever have to. There's no more servitude for coin when you control it all.
You know, maybe I'm not making myself clear. You know, the coin and the gold and all that, it's all good, and it, you know, keeps the boys in line, keeps them all organized, but for me, you know, the only thing that's gonna see me out of this world is when my gray hairs start coming in and don't stop. And, to be honest, I'm not looking forward to that. So, figure best to just enjoy things while I can. Not rock the boat too much.
Well, you do know that we work for the Academy. And the Academy is well known for their strange magics. Who says you can't live a long life?
Yes, yes. There is magic. It is deep and somewhat forbidden, but there are ways, Rickard, that you may delay those gray hairs, maybe even live forever.
There's a mighty large amount you can accomplish in eternity.
I have known wizards that have watched civilizations crumble.
It's also well known that the Academy doesn't like to do their own dirty work. They might have use of mercenaries. As a matter of fact, they hire mercenaries to do a lot of their work. So, as
an unkillable werewolf.
I don't know about you, but I was brought up believing in the flame. To me, that don't sound like anything. I always remember my mom telling me about how, you know, you live a righteous life and you can go be there with the flame. And that would be its own forever. And I thought, that was something. But I can't have that now. My curse means my soul belongs to Chromac. So, why should I stave off the inevitable? I'm gonna go. Might as well just enjoy things until I get devoured by the wolf.
But would that time not give you a way to see if you can get rid of that curse and go back to the flame?
Now that's something I never thought about. Not for a long time. You bring up hard memories. When you bring that kind of thing up with me, you bring up hard memories. You better watch yourself.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but what I'm hearing is you're not going in life the way you may want to go. We have resources at our disposal to help you live the life you want to live. And without that, you're just going to keep living this life of regret, life that isn't beyond this one.
We do have a few connections in the Silver Order. They may be able to help you with the curse.
No, I don't think they can.
Have you asked?
Generations of Steel Fangs turned to the church looking for a way out. No one's found it from them. It's all kinds of stuff. It's a curse brought on by the old gods. A curse that can only be broken by them.
That book, that heretic, what is her name?
Lucretia?
Lucretia Matthias.
Have you heard of...
I've heard of that crazy old coot.
I mean, we got this book. I haven't really read much of it. Skimmed it, really. But she's apparently performed miracles. Like, absolutely unheard of. She's brought people back from the dead.
For those who are devoted.
Sounds like a bit of a long shot to me.
But would it not be worth taking the long shot?
What do you have to lose?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, what I got to lose is the money that I'm due to pay my boys, my pack, and, you know, I might end up with a crazy vampire that's really angry at me. And, well, I don't think she can kill me. She could certainly lock me up.
Unless you ally with us, who have connections and know people who may be able to help you with your curse.
You're promising me a whole bunch of things that you can't deliver here.
We're promising you a chance, which is something that nobody else has ever promised you. And it's surprising to me that after everything you've said, all these hopes that you've lost, that we arrive on your doorstep, we willingly are at your service, we offer ourselves to you to help take out the Countess. That solves one issue. Once that's done, we can bring you to Drakenheim. We have connections there. We know people. There's people who have had run-ins with this Lucretia Matthias. Perhaps we can get you in touch. And this is something that nobody else could offer you. It's maybe a chance, but it's more than you've ever had.
If you take us to the Countess, you stray further from the path to the flame. If this is truly what you want, it is not the way to go.
Elias Drexel speaks up. I might know something. There's a few other shrines. Druids. The old gods. There's one, he keeps the shrine of Morgan near Drakenheim. There's also a druid of, I think, well, she would drive you off, but not us. Perhaps there's the old gods, Maliki, Arwen, the enemies of Cromac. Maybe they know something of undoing this. I have heard of those cursed by, they call it the Ravager's gift. It could be undone. It could be broken.
Again, Rickard, these are our connections. This is what we have to offer you. We have ourselves, we have the people we know, and those people have a chance to save you and your men. You could still continue being mercenaries. You're obviously a great warrior. But think of the freedom. You could join the flame in the end. You could be one with the flame. You could be forgiven of all of this.
Mm-hmm. Rudy, Raph, do you have anything to add?
If this is truly what you want, if you tell us of a path you are forced to take against the path that you choose now. You can have what you want, what you seek, or give in to Cromac. Feed us to the Countess and continue filling your belly until the gray hairs come and Cromac devours you.
That's your fate too, you know that.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel it in the leg. I'm really, it's starting to freak me out a little bit. I do hope to find some way to balance myself. I do not feel clean. Elias Drexel, this this druid you were talking about.
There's a few possibilities. There is a few, I know a few that dwell in this area, deep in the forests, but the druids of Maliki might have a shrine out here somewhere. Maliki is the daughter of Woden, Huntress of the Moon, enemy of Cromac. Perhaps they know about how this Loop Guru's curse can be broken.
Cromac, if you will let us, we will find these followers. We will discover if what is said to be true, and before your next ravaging night on the full moon, we will end this curse, and then we may attack the Countess together.
Rule number 35, you always have a choice, and the choice is yours now.
You will help me end this.
That is our offer. We come as allies, and we offer you aid. We could be friends. We could work together. We could help each other.
I know more than most what it's like to live with regrets. You should know that from the stories you've heard.
That's right.
Why to continue to live your life with regrets? Why continue to live life like a caged animal, unable to choose your destiny? You have a choice. We all have choices. Depends on the one you want to make.
How far away is this druid? It's a week.
It's fine. It's fine.
Maybe 5 days by horse. Or maybe if we make good time.
Then we must act decisively.
It's only 6 days until the next full moon, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds Sounds like a bit of a long shot to me.
Well, if it doesn't work out, you always have the option of giving us to the Countess.
If it doesn't work out, it means that our friend here is going to change into one of your troops here and probably devour
use
us.
a wizard.
I'm scared of
You know
what
that
we're
when the
supposed to
change happens, my curse is yours.
Then we should leave right after breakfast. Probably a good idea.
All right. Tell you what. I'm keeping Mr. Drexel. He's my hostage. Till you all come back.
Elias?
Fine. I can show you the way. I can tell you how to get there. To find them. But I want to tell them privately.
And Rickard, we have your word that Elias will be safe in your care.
Yeah. The word of an old wolf.
I'm going to trust that word. A man is only as good as his word.
Give us 2 weeks just in case we run into trouble. And if we're not back by then, you can do what you want with the last Drexel.
Well, you're not back by then. You're going to have a handful with him.
I also might ask, a few of your people killed our horses
And took our stuff.
and took our stuff.
There was a lightning bolt. It wrecked
You
everything.
don't come back in 2 weeks. I will hunt you down. I know where I will find you. And you will die. Not in my hands. Countess will do what she wants with you.
I promise you, Rickard, that I will do what I can to help you.
Very well. All right, boys. We'll give these 4 time to confer. Get them their gear.
All of our gear?
We just don't get Elias. That's fine.
Yeah, we don't need Elias.
As they allow you to go to the kind of the gardens outside the manor to confer privately with Drexel. All right. So, what do you think?
You better not be lying, Elias.
I have one better. If the stories are true, and Rickard is Luke Garou, there's a loophole.
A loophole.
Yeah, loophole.
Loop Garou hole.
Yeah. A Loop Garou can be killed by inherited silver. It has to be inherited from a family member.
Like any family member? Like if...
The legend says that the Loop Garou can be slain by silver, harmed by silver, inherited upon the death of a family member. Do any of you have any silver heirlooms?
Wilhelm, think. Is there anything that you received from your...
I mean, none of the weapons that I have with me are silver, but I was left this lodge, the castle. Those are my inheritance from my family. Anything in them technically is inherited by me.
So what about that sword that he had? Is
Well,
that
then it
from
would have
there?
chopped his head off.
No, but
Or-
Rudy attacked.
But I attacked.
Also, the sword may not be...
I don't know if it's considered.
Do I know of any silver weapons?
It does not have to be a silver weapon. It could be a locket It's something that we could forge into silver tipped. Attach it to a crossbow.
Any silver in Kesselholm Keep would be your inheritance. Or did you have anything?
I mean, I don't think on me. I'd have to go back home and see what my family might have left. But that's so far away, I don't think we'd be able to get back in time. And I don't want to lead them to Tearhaven.
I can't really remember what's in it. I do have a lockbox upstairs. I kept some stuff in there, some treasures of my childhood. I don't know if there's silver in there.
They would have to be inherited. Think there's
Right,
any
those
other
were my own.
anything else that you received from the book?
All I'm saying, cure him, kill him.
There is still the problem. He said that killing him wouldn't lift the curse on those he had bitten.
Fine.
I didn't get bitten by him. I got bit by...
It might still pass down to you, but it'll get him out of our way. And then we'll be able to solve that problem later. So we can focus on what's important now.
We only have 6 days before Wrath turns into a werewolf.
Yes.
And then we got another problem on our hands.
This is...
I'm only offering the alternatives.
Yeah. So, you do know... Okay, let's lay all of our cards out. Do you know about a druid who can lift curses of werewolf? Is this a thing that you actually know?
All I know is that in the legends, in the legend, Maliki kills Cromac with a silver sword she inherited from Woden. That's the way the story goes.
Does this inherited silver need to be of the person who wields it, or this sword, this thing that you speak of?
It must be silver wielded by the inheritor.
This is a long shot. The rumors in town are that Dulon is a Von Kessel. Were we attacked with a silver weapon from Dulon?
He clawed me with fire, but I do not remember if it was silver. Although anything on his person would be...
Well, now we might be taking a very large chance because we're playing on ghost stories, because the ghost stories were actually that it was me. So it's not me.
Yeah.
Then who is it? That's still a question that I have, but I'm getting carried away.
And, I mean, did your father not leave you any weapons?
My rapier, my crossbow, but they're not silvered. This is my father's rapier.
But you don't remember him having any weapons?
I mean, there were decorative weapons in the castle. There were decorative weapons here at the lodge, where they are now.
Think of other keepsakes. Is there anything else that could be silver, like a chain?
There's the forks and knives in the kitchen.
Yes, the cutlery set, of course.
Spoon.
Yes, finally, ancient silver used.
Maybe
kill him with a spoon.
Maybe if we kill Rickard with a spoon,
that would really send a message. We must find do we pursue the silver, or do we seek the druids? We may only have time for one.
Well,
there is a very big problem.
Wrath turning into a werewolf?
That's a pretty big problem.
I promised Rickard that I would do what I can to help him.
I know.
Wait, are you making a thing about promises right now? I'm gonna turn into a werewolf.
But I made a promise.
Yeah, but I'm also... Can you promise me I won't be a werewolf?
If all of this
I need you to say it right now, Wilhelm.
Wrath, we can promise we'll do everything we can in our power. And
you help a werewolf guy that you just met?
I made a promise.
He made the promise, not me. I'm promising to do everything I can to help you.
A man is only as good as his word.
But you know what?
in the
Finding that
rules.
druid might help you. I think that's 2 birds, 1 stone. If we can find that druid and potentially save you of your curse as well as his.
And if we lift the curse, I didn't promise we wouldn't kill him. I just promised I would do everything I could to help him.
The druid is about 2 days away. Lied to give you extra time.
And we have 2 weeks. Perfect.
I don't have 2 weeks.
I
You do
know.
not understand the pressure I am under. Bruce is furious. And I don't know if you've ever crossed that cat before, but I am not ready to see what happens on the 6th day.
It's a cat.
If I have to embrace Chromac and murder you both in your sleep during the full moon,
Try.
I don't know what will happen.
Well, we'll probably behead you.
You should have some silver ready.
Oh, we gotta find ourselves. We're back.
Go back to the spoon. Get the spoon.
Go around in circles.
I'm conflicted right now because I really want to not have Rickard around. He doesn't seem like a nice guy. I don't really like all of that. I wish Elias had told us that there was a secondary plan before I made a promise. So let's say this.
I'm sorry.
I know.
I couldn't very well tell him that I knew how to destroy him in front of him.
I'm aware of that. I'm aware of the pickle we're in. My father taught me that as a leader, you have to stay true to your word. But if my... Yes.
If he is the inheritor of, well, everything royal, I guess, is there anything in Drakenheim that we can get that might be made of silver?
This is still under the plan that we're going to kill Rickard, which, if you do, that's
I'd rather have both set up and ready to go just in case we can't get his curse done.
True.
Then we at least have the silver to back us up.
Elias, what do you know of the royal family's inheritance in Drakenheim?
Perhaps a magical silver sword of Drakenheim.
Specifically, but also less specifically, silver.
Like a really powerful sword.
Would it count if you weren't?
Preferably a rapier of some sort. A very powerful, magical rapier.
I don't think we can
made
get
of
that
silver.
Okay,
Specific.
okay. That's
I'm just spitballing. I'm just... My inheritance.
But I figure it's not just in Kesselholm that we got silver axes, right?
The only thing I could possibly think of is there used to be an old, well, in the days before the royal lines, the long shot though, before the royal lines converted to the flame, there were crypts in this area. It's possible. I don't know if the Von Kessels had a crypt out here, but the Von Drakens did. Technically, the Von Kessels are the inheritors of the Von Drakens. So if there's anything buried there with any of the Von Drakens, it's possible. But that would be a long... Certainly they buried something silver there that we could melt down.
Does Wilhelm know if the crypts were also used for Von Kessels at all?
No, because what Wilhelm knows is that the Von Kessels were generally buried in Castle Draken once, because the...
Or Kesselholm? Or
No, actually, that's actually the key distinction. Even though Kesselholm was originally crypts for the Von Kessels, the Von Kessels is just a younger dynasty than the Von Drakens were. So by the time the Von Kessels rose to power, the Von Kessels essentially moved their crypt into Castle Draken. So because that was the royal line. So the crypts in Castle Draken have both the king and queens and monarchs, but also their families.
Right.
Right.
Fair.
So traditionally speaking, your uncles and aunts and cousins and everyone would have been buried there, right? Generally, the lower members of the house, because they were followers of the sacred flame, would be cremated and just their bones there. It would only be whoever was reigning as the monarch that would be interned in that way.
And just to make sure, am I aware of any other silver, or is this kind of all that I've got?
There's a long shot that there could be basically silver antiques that your household kept in the royal apartments, in the apartments of Kesselholm. There were definitely decorations, and it's entirely possible that there's a few basically the only other thing that you can think of is there was a costumed breastplate that your father had, probably that he died in, that was made of silver.
So we'd have to know where.
I have no idea where my father's buried. I haven't.
Would that have been stolen though?
I don't know where my father's body is. I'm realizing this right now.
I mean,
He wouldn't have been brought to Drakenheim because it was post.
Burnt it. Sorry.
No, that makes sense.
Well,
And
took
also,
him
What of his possessions?
at the end of the whole thing, after it was all over, we took them and we burnt them, and I'm sorry, I don't want to hurt you with the details.
no, I respect that and thank you, but it is that is important information right now.
But what about his possessions? Divvied up among the steel fangs.
No, some of them maybe, but after it was all over, took the bodies to the stable with the horses. We burned them. I remember the screams of the horses. If he was your father must have been wearing that breastplate when we burned his body.
So, is that still in the stables?
Well, the stables were burnt down. We didn't look over. They were rebuilt last I saw.
Maybe we need to go treasure hunting.
There
Well-
could be other silver in the castle.
We also, I mean, we don't necessarily want to go trouncing back into Kesselholm Keep, the exact place that we're trying to build an army to fight. We're just putting ourselves back into the Countess's hands again.
Maybe if we find our way there later, we may attempt to steal this silver.
We know where the crypts are, the crypts of the Von Drakens.
Mm-hmm.
Is that anywhere along the way to this druid?
It's a detour. It's not as far, but it is the opposite direction.
I mean, we have less time than we need in order to go see this druid. I say use the silver as a backup. We can always come back sooner, sneak in, go to the crypts when they don't expect us back yet.
So go see the druid, go to the crypts, and then decide whether we're going to save.
Well, it's all dependent on the information we get from the druid, is it not?
It is.
We must go seek this druid out at once. It may be our only hope.
No.
Our only hope.
All right.
I mean,
In more
I
ways
have-
than one.
I have many rules for sticking to your word, but I also have many rules for dealing with your foes. It's complicated.
I think Rickard doesn't have to save foe if we can help him. He'll be indebted to us. Is that not potentially a greater thing, especially if, well, what they, who the Lanterns were here for is to get some backup, no?
Right. And the Steel Fangs are formidable because they're werewolves.
But if we undo the curse, we still have. If we undo the curse, we still have soldiers who have seen battle many times.
It's true. It's true. But if we kill Rickard Steelfang, we have a bunch of werewolf soldiers that have no leader.
But if we save Rickard,
I guess it depends. How hard is it to lead a pack of werewolves?
That's a good question. It's entirely possible they could desert us either way.
Right now, they are not our allies. We need to give them a reason.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm concerned, we've got you three your freedom. I'm still their prisoner. You don't need to worry about me, I'll be fine. I'm not going to tell them what I know. They'll never get it out of me. They're going to torture me for sure, but I'm not going to talk. What I need to know from you is what to expect. If you're going to go and try and find this cure, it's entirely possible that these druids might not know anything at all, in which case we're back to square one. You need to get the silver and kill Rickard.
If the stories are true.
Considering it's a hunch.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hunch. Don't have much better for you than that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we could do? On our way back, depending on our plan, we'll send one of our familiars ahead. Whatever one you see, whatever we decide, you'll know the plan. So if I send Houdini forward, you'll know that we found the druids and we're here to help. But if Bruce is willing, and you see Bruce, know that we're getting the silver and we're going to take his head.
Okay.
Sound about right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to make for the Shrine of Miliki. Approach the druids there and see if there is any cure. Yes. Very well. And if not, kill him. Then there's the matter of the Countess.
if we have the Steel Fangs on our side, indebted to us, then we have a formidable force to take the castle with. If we have to kill Rickard, Rudy will attempt to step in as the new Den Mother. She has the old blood as well. If we can rally them, then we still have more troops to storm the castle with. The more people we have, the more likely our chances of victory.
All right. Very well. This gets us more troops to do the bigger task. I will endure what I have to.
You're
Go.
Good soldier, sir. We'll try to do our best to do it quick, both for Wrath's sake and your own.
We
All right.
cannot fail.
We cannot fail.
It's not an option.
From what I understand, you, if we just pull up our map of Westamar, yeah, make sure we got all that there. So Elias Drexel, looking over the area that you're in right now. Okay, so let me just load up my own copy of this map. Okay, so you guys right now are at just outside Castleholm, right? The the shrine is on the other side of Lake Dray. So he points, he says, there's on the other side of Lake Dray, just kind of like that point where like, see how Lake Dray just kind of like has that little pinchy point on the extreme east side of the map?
Oh, here.
That is the shrine. But I don't know much more than that about it. I just know that basically Miliki and Chromac are two sides of the moon. And so the moonlight is that the stories used to say that the moonlight came over Lake Dray. As this phase of the moon changes, it represents the balance of power between Miliki and Chromac. Miliki is that it is at her greatest power during the crescent moon, whereas Chromac is in the full moon.
I heard a little bit of the stories before growing up, but stories, that's what they were. Who knew we'd be living in them?
Beyond the banks of Lake Dray are not well settled. They're wild land. Beasts, could be trolls. Be careful.
Never killed a troll before. Wait, have I? Have we fought trolls?
I do not believe we have.
No. Knew a guy once who killed a troll.
Serious?
Yeah,
I believe I could kill a troll.
I believe I could too.
Together we could.
I'm sure.
But enough boasting of troll killing. That is for peasants.
Peasants don't kill trolls.
Yes, they're weaker people brag of killing trolls. They're mindless creatures. We are here to kill a werewolf, an elder werewolf, and fight old gods.
Or save them, you know.
That is our
got options.
mission.
or save them, yeah.
Okay.
That's
Well,
we're on the same page.
as you part ways with Elias Drexel, I think that's an appropriate moment to take our break.
Woo!
And we are back from our short rest. We have finished all of our consumables. We have restocked our potions and other liquids, and are ready to roll some more dice, or not, depending on how much rolling we want to do.
I did get to roll dice.
No, I don't think we have rolled any dice tonight. But
Oh no, yeah, you did. You
yeah,
rolled
To hit
yeah, it's a hit.
to hit him while he let you.
Captain Decapitate.
That was the only dice roll.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, so where we last left off, our heroes now are free to go where they want to go. What are you going to do?
We go back to Tearhaven and we quit. No.
They know where we live.
All right.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot. We must seek out the druids. I imagine that during the first chance I get, I confer with Bruce to see if I'm on the right path.
Okay, so as you all begin, the Steel Fangs did let you take some horses. You will be going. There's no real roads where you're going, so the horse, like how beneficial the horses will be, might depend.
Well, it saves our legs.
It does. And so you start traveling. Following along, there's two ways to go, right? If you're following along the shores of Lake Dray, to get to where you need to go, you can either take the north route or the south route. The northern, the southern route is shorter, but is much more wooded and forested overall, whereas the northern route is rockier overall because it's coming down from the mountains on that side. It's a bit of a longer path.
Is it known that the southern route is shorter distance, but is it less time to travel?
Enough, right? You are going across the lake, so there's not the impossibility of perhaps taking a boat as well if you wanted to seek something of the sort out to row across. Lake Dray is a large lake, so given the where the shrine is, even if you have a boat, you would still probably be following along the shore for the most part. So it's not like you're cutting across the river. It's not like you're cutting across the lake by taking the boat. So it's kind of 6 of one half a dozen the other. It really depends on what kind of terrain you want to traverse.
I will say for Wilhelm's part, oddly enough, he's not really feeling boats these days. He kind of has been in enough boats to last him a while.
We would need oars to row a boat.
Yeah,
either.
you're looking at me like I'm gonna let's just get oars. We can just get oars from the woods or something. You get oars. I'm really stressed. My leg, it talks to me.
Were you always... There's a lot of fur around there.
Yeah, it's noticeable.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You're developing hair where there was no hair before.
I asked Rudy. She says it's normal.
It is.
At least as far as Rudy would know.
Rudy, is this normal?
Happens to me when I shift, so I assume.
Oh man, yeah. I vote we go through the woods. It's a better chance of running into a druid. I assume druids love trees.
Wait a second. You want to go through the woods because is this part of your urges? Are you turning into a wolf and therefore? Oh, let's go to. Is this a thing?
No, I believe that would. I don't see the relation at all. No, it's not a. Is
No,
it?
no.
Is it? Nope. That's all me.
Very well,
All
then I'm
logical
for
me.
it.
Thank you. We must trust Elias Drexel. He is. This is our last chance. As we search for silver in old crypts, we could spend days, weeks.
We don't have weeks.
We do not. This is, I believe, our only shot.
Can we also just point out the irony that our most trusted person right now is Elias Drexel?
Yeah, they cannot know that he would die for you because that would not give them any leverage.
How did we end up here?
It's actually kind of a win-win. Like if they kill him, like that's fine for you.
I mean,
Well, we ended
He's
up
an-
here because you didn't kill him. So, I mean, it's benefits.
he is an asset to us now, and I just, when I arrived in Kesselholm, I didn't see me working with the Steel Fangs and Elias Drexel. This is all very confusing and again very ironic.
Well, I say, the quicker we get to this druid, the quicker we can figure out how to get you less furry.
Thank you. I keep shaving and it doesn't do anything. It just keeps
won't.
coming back.
It will.
Yeah.
That's how hair works.
Yeah, but like it comes back at like in hours.
Double, triple
Yeah.
pace.
Speaking of, how long has it been since my mustache was trimmed off? It's been about 24 hours.
Yeah, you're getting maybe a little bit of the shadow coming in.
But I think you have a noticeable like tan too.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
very pale.
I take out a little comb and I'm combing my my baby
Just
hair.
scratching your raw skin.
Yep. The Von Kessel men are known for quite luscious beards, though, so it grows in fast for them, right?
It'll come back. It'll come back.
You look weird.
I know. I mean, I haven't looked in a mirror, but
Don't.
I wouldn't. I lost my mustache.
Okay. As you proceed along the wooded bank of Lake Dray, the the first leg of your journey takes you to the south, right? So you walk from, basically it's a walk through the forest from the lodge towards the lake. This is a few hours of journey first to get just directly to where the lake is. And eventually you do run into it. So through the morning, I'm gonna have all of you roll me a d6.
5.
3.
6.
Okay. You make really good time as you travel along, and what Wilhelm, you actually remember this as you start traveling. There is an old road that was used by your family to get from the lodge to the lake. And so what you recall is this pathway. It's a little overgrown, but it's way faster than just going through the underbrush. It's a clear path that leads you, so it saves you some good time along the way. And that's where you come out onto kind of the stony and the wooded banks of Lake Dray. It's not really like the lake doesn't really have any sort of sandy bit to it, but the most notable thing about the area of the lake is that it does have a bit of an escarpment around it. So there's generally kind of like the wooded foresty area ends, and then it jumps down to this kind of stony beach around the lake. So traveling along, kind of you can follow either it's really a question of like, do you want to travel on the beach or on the ground? Travel, the only thing with it is like, as you walk on the beach for a little bit, have you ever walked on those really rocky beaches where
Yes.
like the stone is weirdly heavy underfoot? Like it's actually more exhausting to walk on the stone than it is to walk on the solid ground. That's what the whole kind of area around Lake Dray is like.
Well, then I would take I would just stick to the wood line.
Sticking to the tree line?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you want to stay in eye shot of the lake itself to not get lost. Yeah.
But yeah, walking on rocks is not fun.
Awful.
Okay.
Just awful.
At some point, you probably stopped to take a bit of a lunch or a rest, and you wanted to confer with Bruce.
Yeah.
So as the group of you stopped to take a meal.
Can we do like a short rest?
Yeah.
And do, I want to spend the time sort of conferring with Bruce.
Cool. You kind of open up your the provisions that you've been allowed to take with you.
Bruce.
And Bruce comes in and
Drawing my circle.
the two of you, it looks like he's having a staring contest with the cat.
Looks like.
I mean, sometimes I wonder.
I constantly wonder.
I can't get, I don't know. As much as we've been around in this time, just
Like-
staring at a cat.
You have an owl, and you don't talk to your owl.
No.
May you have this conversation elsewhere. You're disturbing.
You gaze deep into the eyes of Bruce. The eyes of this cat, as you look deeply into it, are like nebula, as opening up and like a black hole unfolding, and you can feel the spaghettification of your spirit that is drawn into the gravity that is Bruce. Your time is running short, Cat says.
Cromac is nothing. We will remove his paltry curse. His followers are mindless animals. What can you tell me of Cromac?
Bruce says, the petty and feeble gods of Earth. These creatures that think themselves with so much power and majesty. Yet, is it not true that the cities of Earth, in their own light, overtake the light of the stars, but from the perspective of those standing upon it?
You are so wise. You just heard me say that to a cat.
or Chromac, though Chromac and Miliki war over the phase of the moon, the cats know the truth of the dark side of the moon.
When the dust settles and the war is over, we will eat their bones. I will feed you the corpses of the fallen, the blind followers, O great Bruce.
These petty and feeble beings claw and rake for your soul. They have their own knowledge of this earth and of the magics of the moon. You may learn of them, but do not be overtaken by their false light.
No, I would rather die than surrender my patronage to you. I was misguided in my search for power to find ways to appease you, but I would do nothing that goes against you. Bruce, you were there for me. You gave me this. You gave me everything. I do not know a world without you. I will rid myself of this.
Bruce lets out deep-throated purrs of gratitude. And says that cryptical realms of cats on the moon's dark side contain great secrets that Chromac and Miliki know nothing of as they bask on the moon's bright side. For they are turned ever towards the sun, but mere reflections of it.
One day, I will play with the cats on the dark side of the moon.
One day, you will walk the streets of Uthar if you stay the course.
I am grateful, Master. And then, like, the eyes are, like, rolling back in my head. Whoa. And then I lay out some pieces of what is now very dry fish people for Bruce. And I lay them out in sort of a pattern. And I sort of, like, I sort of draw a moon to feed him.
So a circle.
It's a moon. It's a moon, and I
holes.
yeah.
Bruce
And these are stars.
extends a languid paw before he returns to sunning himself on the stones.
This all takes like the full hour. This is
Considering my rations.
Yes. And he says, but for your trespass and failures, you will also need to bring me a tribute of grouse, quail, and pheasants.
Wilhelm.
Yes.
We must hunt.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Are you feeling the cravings already?
It is not for me. I owe a sacrifice.
Oh,
I must pay my dues.
we still have 6 days.
I want to.
We have food right here. What do you...
No, this is not good enough. And I knock over my bowl of gruel.
The rations!
This is unworthy.
I just poured you a bowl of soup.
I pick up the bowl and I eat what's left of it. I'm like, I mean, if you're not gonna have it, I will.
And I'm
Is this how
gonna...
all new werewolves act?
Wilhelm, I need your help.
Down, boy!
Don't...
Wolves, not dogs. Wolves, not dogs.
Oh,
I need your expertise. I need to hunt grouse and some other birds. I need a bunch of birds. Help me kill some birds,
okay.
please. Please.
All right. Let's go hunting, I suppose.
I'll watch the fire. Have fun. Poke it with a stick.
Wilhelm and I are gonna go out and hunt some birds
All right.
for Bruce.
You'll need the food anyways. You can both give me a survival check.
Can I cast speak with animals as a ritual spell? It's one of my ritual spells. And I'm gonna ask other ground-based prey about birds, like hares and squirrels. And I'm gonna be like, where are the birds?
No.
Where the birds are.
Raph, you want to ask the predators of the birds where to hunt for birds.
No, these ones would know.
Although
where
the
birds...
prey of the birds would also know where birds hunt.
Yes, I just need your crossbow. Get ready.
Oh, okay.
I don't need your...
Cool. You can make your survival check with advantage because you're conferring with the animals.
Yeah, I ask anything ground-based that runs from birds. I get a 17.
Wilhelm?
I got an 11.
You are you are able to turn up a couple of grouse. As you start talking about like quail and pheasants, and those birds, like Wilhelm, there were pheasants at some of the farms, but like a wild pheasant in these parts is just ridiculous.
Yeah, he just said we're going for birds. As soon as I heard...
Turkey. Ostrich.
No. No.
Help me. Kill
Yeah, like you might find a quail, but like
Yeah, we might find a quail.
duck.
Well, yeah, we can...
Mallard.
if we are near the lake, there should be plenty of
yeah.
ducks and mallards.
This will... It's not enough, but it will have to do.
How hungry are you?
This is not for me.
Who's it for?
It's for Bruce.
Okay, Bruce eats what, like a dish of cat food?
You do not understand his hunger.
Okay.
It will never be suffice. We can but merely offer appetizers.
Is this why our rations have been going missing?
I have been feeding him fish people for the past 6 days, and he's tired of fish. He seeks...
Well, I mean, it's been 6 days. I'd be tired of fish too. Is he okay? Like, are you giving your little kitten stomach aches?
Do not call him a kitten.
Okay.
When he reveals... Look, this is... Just help me get the birds, please.
I am.
That's all I need from you. Not all
We
these
are hunting.
You end up with a grouse, a mallard, and a couple of sparrows. Bruce seems contented with the birds, but you hear in your mind, you will get me a pheasant.
We'll get you a pheasant.
Some of those are for us to eat, correct? Like we're hunting for us.
Eat your gruel.
Oh my.
I'm sorry. It's just that I'm not usually like this, but I can feel the bond.
I understand what you're saying. I understand, Raph. Rudy, you're gonna want to get your axes ready. Tonight, just keep an eye on him. If he overreacts or anything, just chop his head off. It's probably for the best at this point.
I'm not gonna
Yes.
put him
All
down
right.
before it's time. all right?
I'm concerned he might try to eat us.
Look,
With those delays in mind, you can all roll me a d6 as you travel through the rest of the afternoon.
6.
5.
6.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, pheasant. No.
No! I run after it.
You rarely see those. No, that didn't happen.
You retcon it? You retcon your own pheasant sighting?
I can't just decide what the 5s and 6s get us. That's not up to me.
Okay.
You tease me with pheasant?
So,
Run.
as you make excellent time the rest of the day, and as you make camp for the evening, you find a good spot along the edge of the escarpment to make your camp, and set yourselves up for the next morning. Cooking the birds that you caught earlier, and Bruce eating a significantly larger amount of them than you would expect. But that's neither here nor there. And so as you bed down for the evening, someone wanders into you. It starts approaching your camp.
Who goes there?
I get up with my axes.
Now, I mean, normally... Yeah, okay. I should have done tiny hut. I should have tiny hutted.
You're saying this as we're like
I should
weapons.
have tiny hutted. Yeah,
You were too busy feeding your cat.
I know.
Who goes there?
Not an enemy. Don't mean any harm now.
Well, how do you know if you're our enemy or...
Just a hunter.
What is your name, Hunter?
My name is Jordan, if it please you.
What are you doing? What are you doing so far out of here?
I live out here. What are you doing so far out here?
We're hunting.
Pheasants.
You're not going to find any pheasants in these parts.
My friend is mistaken. We've been hunting local birds, ducks, and I was told that not many people lived out this way.
Well, you were told right. I'm far ways from my hut. May I pass the night with you?
Come closer.
The man steps forward into the light of your campfire as the sun is waning. He's a tanned and sort of lanky man. With him are a pair of hunting dogs, and as he calls in, he whistles, and a hunting hawk kind of flutters up over onto one of the nearby tree branches. He's carrying a quiver with several spears and a long hunting bow, and strapped about him, he's mostly clad in furs, and some leathers, and he has a few quails strapped to his pack.
Might seem like an odd question, but a lot of creatures about these parts these days.
There are, indeed.
You seen anything unsettling, unusual?
Nothing unusual for the time. There's a bit more owlbears out these days than there normally are in the woods. You know, as people traveling less around these parts, they had a couple good few seasons. Haven't seen the dragon in a few years. It's been okay. I imagine that's why there's more owlbears about. Beyond that, we've got the bears. There's been the wolves. Once in a while, head down to Castleholm. People there are a little curious, but it's all it is what it is.
Have you seen anyone else around these parts lately? Anyone usual or unusual?
Oh, there's a few of us that live out in these woods, out in these parts, hunting, biding their time, and, you know, living the way that folk, I guess, folk forgot. No, further out this way, it's part of the land, really, you know, shows nothing to any king or anyone like that, never really did. You get further and further out into these woods, it gets a little bit wilder. I mean, you travel for a while, you know, not too many lords coming out this far, so folk can live free out here, as long as you're tough enough to live.
I heard rumors, actually, before we set out on our hunting trip of a druid in these here areas. Know anything
There's a
about
great many
that?
druids in these here areas. Well, compared to other parts. Perhaps not the Octimold, but there's a few. What's it to you?
Oh, just heard stories. Thought, been a little nervous that we might run into them. Do you know anything about the druids in these areas? Are they dangerous? Are they, can people approach them? If we were to see one, should we steer clear or should we?
There's a few. They're the type though that, well, depends. If you head back up towards Kesselholm, you'll find the Shrine of Cromac. One there, he's a little bit off. But once in a while, you'll run into one of the Druids of Maliki. They tend their shrine up on the other side of the lake, but you'll never find it unless they want you to find it.
And what might let them? What might let us see them? Is there any impressions that we have to make, or if we did want to see them, we best not be doing those things?
More just friendly curiosity. I've never seen many druid shrines in my time, other than the Cormac one in town. So, you know, since we're up this way hunting, I thought we would go take a look, but I didn't realize it was so hard to find.
Not that the shrine's hard to find, it's that the druids that are there are hard to find.
Is there an offering that they like, or?
Well, it's said that you can only see that they do. There's a mighty few things that you can bring to them, but from what I know, the shrine is not the shrine. Folk who used to say that the druids, we would leave offerings there for the druids at the shrines, and once in a while we would see them. But there's no sign anyone actually lives there. Anyone actually stays there. The druids, they show up when they want to show up.
Interesting.
My ma used to say that up there is... Well, she said it was like... She used to tell me it was like when two streets and two roads meet each other. But that the first road was our world, and the second road was that Never Never world. You gotta be careful around these parts. Some people, they say the fairies are still out in these woods, and some people, they slip in, get lost in the Never Never worlds, never come back. Sometimes, there was this one story my dad used to tell where the man thought he'd gone out hunting, thought he couldn't believe the lush woods that he'd found, all the hunting. He came back, and 100 years had passed in only the blink of an eye.
I've heard stories of this. Also, we've heard a few tales around Westamar these days of I think I've heard them referred to as thin places. These streets meeting.
Is that what the folk in the folk out there used to call them?
Yes.
So we used to call them crossings.
Well, interesting. Thank you for the information.
And thanks for the custom.
If you'd like, we have some...
Gruel. You can have gruel.
Surely we can offer him one of the mallards?
I believe Bruce has eaten them all.
I can make it taste like mallard. It's all right.
Bruce hasn't actually eaten them all. He like the cat's just eating a cat-sized portion. It's completely normal the amount of food the cat eats.
I look at the cat sitting on like the piles of birds. Look back at you. I guess we have gruel.
It's all right. I got my
flavor.
I got my own. You got any trade though? I've got a skin of wine I'd share with you.
I mean, I have no money.
We were.
It's all good if I can share your fire.
Of course. Do you have family up in these woods, or is it just you by yourself?
Oh, my brothers and sisters, and see them once in a while. Kids, the children are all up on their own. Not many folks stay this life. Some make for the towns and cities. Have some family in Castleholm, but none of my mind.
Who's your family?
I'd prefer to keep it private if you don't mind.
Oh, we were just there, so we were wondering if we'd met him.
Oh, maybe you have.
Does now that he's said that, like I kind of glance him up and down. Does he look like any family I would know? Like, am I
Give me a
able?
perception check.
That's a 6.
The common folk. Ever since you've invoked your royal name, the common folk all kind of look the same.
You remember my face, right?
Peasants,
Peasants. All peasants.
all of you.
Can't kill trolls, but just peasants.
All right, fair enough. Well,
You're not looking for the druids, are you?
I mean, we thought we might pay them a visit. I mean, since we were up this way on our hunting trip, it seemed you don't get many chances to confer with druids.
You know, just if you are going up that way, just you best watch yourself. Some of the trees up there are a little bit ornery.
The trees. I'll be careful.
I've never had to watch over trees before.
Me neither. I mean, old hunter tales, I suppose. In all my years of hunting, did I ever...
There's a lot of stories, but the woods that you would have hunted in would have been pretty managed woods.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I've hunted in woods near here all my life. Part of my life. Nothing more than some wolves, birds, an owl bear maybe, but we'll keep our eyes on the trees.
We hear that these druids have a kinship with the old gods. One that could...
Hey, they do. They keep Maliki.
Yes, this Maliki. We seek the power of Maliki to reverse the damage done by Cromac. How familiar are you with these old gods?
Just the stories I know growing up. Maliki is the daughter of Woden, Huntress of the Moon. Her, the Dryad, and the Unicorn are sacred.
I mean, maybe...
We could not persuade you to take us to where you may have seen these druids.
Well, the shrine is up just on the... If you follow the lake, you'll find it.
What other stories have you heard regarding Maliki?
Maliki is the Huntress of the Moon, and they say that Maliki and Cromac, though they are siblings, maybe cousins, it all depends. I always get it mixed up. That the two of them are two sides of the same hunt. And that Maliki, gifted a sword of silver from her father, Woden, would slay Cromac at the end of the world.
Nothing we haven't heard before.
Yeah. Well, friendly hunter. Well, thank you. I mean, if you'd like, we can share stories around the fire tonight. And
The terrible thing, too, Cromacthul, in the meantime, curses the world, dreading his fate. And so, the werewolves, they say, are his spawn.
been hearing stories about werewolves as well.
Yes, and what you could say, the spawn or the followers of Malika, you say unicorns and dryads? Have you ever seen these creatures in these parts?
Well, there's legends of them, yes.
Near maybe these thin places, these
Yes,
crossroads.
Said that in the groves, not far from where Maliki, from the shrines, that the druids pass through the crossings, and that once every few years, Charlemagne the Unicorn walks through these woods to meet with the druids.
I mean, all I know is folklore and tales that I was read as a child, but in theory, if unicorns have some great healing properties in the stories I've heard, a link to the unicorns could be helpful.
Could be the answer. Wow.
To general problems.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Just upset stomach, motion sickness.
Headache.
The touch of a unicorn's horn, it says it can cure all wounds, break all curses.
Interesting. My friend here has had an upset stomach for days. We believe him to be cursed with stomach sickness.
Oh, I'm sorry. It might be, you know, it's probably all the birds you're eating.
Yes. Which is why we're seeking the druids to help him to stop eating so many birds.
Don't know how to clean the bones out.
Well, I'll be fleet of foot to you.
Thank you.
You bed down for the night. Your hunter companion, sharing the camp with you. They're off in the morning, as it is. You're gonna, as for you, more nightmares of being devoured by wolves. And
Take a pillow.
just the yeah.
Silence the screams.
And the wolf says to you, I will drink your blood. You think you can escape me? Maliki will bring you no salvation.
I do not plan to escape you. I plan to destroy you. You and Maliki, these earthen gods, you do not know the powers of the cosmos. I have witnessed through the lens.
I will show you the rage of the earth! Chomp!
Also, the screams are in your heads, by the way. It's telepathic.
You wake
So
up.
Take a
you-
pillow and
my
I put it up.
You wake up and Wilhelm has Rudy's axe and is like,
No, don't do it. He can't help it.
I thought he was saying he was going to destroy us.
No, he's fine. He's fine. You're fine, right?
You can hear the different voices. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just really tired. My leg is bothering me, and I have worse nightmares.
Could we chop his leg off?
No, we're not chopping his leg off.
It might
He already
so.
has less fingers. We don't need him with
Yeah,
less
yeah.
limbs.
Yeah, and he seems fine with that. I'm sure he'll feed his leg to Bruce and everybody will be happy.
Look,
I'm not wrong.
we know what to do. We know where to go. We just cannot waste time.
Let's get to these druids before start, howling to the moon.
I am fine. I am fine.
Yeah, you seem fine, Wrath.
Fine. I just need to fix this. We just need to fix this. I need your help.
Let's
It's-
get you there.
Thank you.
Please don't wake up in the middle of the night and try to kill us.
I don't think we're there yet.
Good. Then I will not attack you.
But we race the moon. How many days until the next full moon?
4 days.
Let's be swift then.
Okay. You travel the next day towards the shrine of Maliki. As you travel, you can all roll me a d6.
4.
3.
1.
Okay.
Had to happen.
We were due. We were due.
You travel along, you start to notice that there are great standing stones engraved with the old language of the druids, symbols, and you see quite clearly on them symbols of the moon, and often it is taken in the shape of the moon bow. So the crescent moon formed as often in the carvings is being held in the hands of a huntress who is then firing arrows of silver at wolves. As you it is on as the evening approaches, as you pass by one of these stones, the runes upon them begin to glow red.
Uh-oh.
And you hear a creaking in the woods, and you hear a whispering on the winds. Blood cursed of Cromac, you defile these woods. Oh, I'll say, blood cursed of Cromac, you defile these woods with your very presence.
Do we all hear that?
Yeah.
Great spirits in the trees, we come seeking aid. My friend has been cursed. We do not wish to defile these lands. We wish to save him from that which would.
Make a persuasion check.
$26.
You speak words of peace, but you walk with two cursed by Cromac's brood. What would they speak for themselves for their trespass?
The blood that runs in my veins is not mine. It was passed to me by an intruder. I seek the means to remove it.
Make a persuasion check.
$21.
Ooh. Rudy, what do you have to say for yourself?
Say, my blood is my own. And if there were a way for me to respect and not trespass, I would do so. If there's any way I can show, please let it be known.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
Oh, persuasive Rudy.
18.
Oh, wow. Hey, why were those rolls yesterday?
Oh, when we needed them? I have no idea. No
Okay.
idea.
The whispers in the branches say, the wood will let you pass, but beware the beasts ahead.
Thanks.
What can you tell us of the beasts ahead?
They're a little caught these beasts caught betwixt land and sky, where their claws that maw, their beaks that thrash. They are ahead.
Oh, that just sounds like owl bears. My father hunted one or two of them back in the day. They can't be that difficult.
They can be.
Oh.
Have you hunted owl bears, this creature?
You have to understand that my hunting days ended swiftly in my mid-teens when my family was slaughtered. I didn't really hunt after that except to fend for myself. I didn't really come across many owl bears. I mostly ate pheasants.
I'm sorry, Bruce. I'll get you some. Then we must tread lightly if we are to reach the druids.
Are the whispers still there? Are we on the right path to the druids?
Yes. Ahead of you is an old ruin, perhaps a temple or a house or even a tower of some kind. You can all roll me perception.
16.
17.
7.
Sleeping in the midst of this tower are two massive lumbering forms, sleeping away in the shade. They're feathered.
Not owl bears? Owl bears don't have feathers. They have fur, right?
Well, they have feathers and fur.
Feathers and fur.
You really didn't hunt them, did you?
I said my father hunted
Yeah,
them.
I know. Just like he didn't write anything in that journal, just a bunch of rules.
Yes, why are we debating this? There's creatures right over there, and I don't
Sorry,
think...
it's just like my leg
Now the
hurts.
question is,
Do owl bears have teeth?
I'm pretty sure they have teeth.
Okay.
I thought they would have beaks.
Beaks can have teeth.
Beaks with teeth.
This is all, side things.
Now, do we leave them in their resting place, or do we fight them?
Well, how close are we to the shrine? Is this where we're supposed to be? Does the area look like a druid shrine at all? We saw the ruins.
No.
The question is, are the Druids gonna get mad if we,
Do we anger the druids, or do we prove ourselves by killing them?
Well, we don't know. What if killing them is the wrong thing to do? What if the druids are protecting them? What do we know? Do they look fey? Are they of the fairy realm? If these druids are of the fairy realm, then perhaps we shouldn't kill fairy realm creatures.
One of the creatures wakes up with a loud rumbling roar,
Hide.
and it begins walking around. Several skulls and bits of bone tumble out of the nest where it's made in the midst of the ruin. There's another. What you realize now is that there are several other forms, and there is a nest with several eggs in it.
Oh, we have just walked into a nest.
oh,
This is a family. We should give it a wide berth. If I've learned anything from ducks, it's that you don't want to go to them during nesting season, otherwise they will attack you. And these are bigger than ducks.
You know these
Way bigger
woods.
than ducks.
Way big. Way. You know these woods.
I know the woods back there. I
Yeah,
don't come out this far.
Wilhelm doesn't know these parts.
But go on.
Rudy, do you know these woods?
I've never been
No.
here before.
Do you know these woods, Raph?
Well, we should have asked Jordan to come with us. He knows these woods.
We did, and he was like, oh, just go right up that way.
I know. You're a bad impression, though.
I
of
say we
Jordan.
back away as slowly as we can. If we have to take them on, I say we don't kill them. Maybe incapacitate if we can. I don't want to take no parents
Have you
away
ever
from
tried
the
to knock
babies.
out a bear? Because I haven't. It sounds hard.
No, but I'd be willing to try.
Let's
Okay.
look for the shrine. That's what we're here for.
All right, let's back up. Back up.
Okay. You all back up, and you can give me stealth checks.
We're gonna try to go around.
8.
31.
Typical.
Also 8.
Okay.
Wilhelm disappears.
As Wilhelm disappears into the woods,
me and Rudy are still talking.
Stomp on a stick.
yeah, stomp on a stick, and then the creature just goes. It's like this weird combination of a screech, a squawk, and a roar as it rears up to attack.
Wrath, you can talk to animals, right?
Stop.
You guys can roll for initiative.
In 11 minutes, I can talk to this animal.
Blue dice.
You guys can place yourselves kind of on the closer side. This.
Thank you, Wilhelm.
I'll get our
Oh, yeah.
get our
Brucey, baby.
companions. So you guys are like
And that's the sleeping mate.
there, and I am hiding.
Yeah.
You disappeared.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Are these owlbears part brown bear, black
They are
bear?
massive brown owlbears covered in shaggy feathers.
Oh, man.
They have huge black beaks and these kind of like long, like feathery eyebrows. And it rears up as you snap on the twig as you walk past, bearing its claws to bear down on you. What do you have for initiative, guys?
4.
4. Okay.
27.
Okay.
10.
Okay. So Wilhelm, as they snap on the twigs, you hear the owlbear rear up. What do you do?
So they have no idea where I am. Does that mean I have
Yeah,
advantage?
you're hidden. Yep.
So I'm going to fire my crossbow at the one who rears up
Okay.
from my hiding spot. With advantage. That's going to be 24 to hit. I'm guessing that.
That is a hit. Yep.
Jeez.
I do not see them having 24 AC. 27 damage.
Oh, yeah.
It screeches out, letting out this, again, a bizarre combination of hooting and growling.
After I fire, now I don't know quite how this is going to work, but if I were to move like from here to behind the tree and hide and use a bonus action to hide,
Yeah.
would that work?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to use a bonus action to hide with my cloak up. That's advantage on
Awesome.
hiding. So that's going to be 22 for my hide check.
Nice. The owlbear then is going to, not knowing where the shot came from, 15 to hit with the claws.
Yep.
And a 21 to hit with the beak.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, beak and claws.
So that's 10 points of damage from the beak and 14 points of damage from the claws.
Oh.
As you get savaged by the owlbear. In the process, the other owlbear wakes up. Wrath, it's your turn.
So I just got mauled by an owl bear. I am. I think at this point, I'm going to use an action to disengage.
Okay.
I'm going to run back behind Rudy. And with Rudy's next attack. And I'm going to cast Hex on this one.
Okay. Looks good.
And I'm going to choose Strength as its ability score.
I'm gonna take on this owlbear as Big Rudy. So I'm going to cast Enlarge on myself.
Okay.
And then I am going to...
I feel like we need to you can get like XL miniatures.
Yeah, we need to order an XL.
Yeah.
come up and flank his brethren.
You are getting help from Bruce as well.
So we got two out of the 3. It's 27. 11 damage. Yeah.
So basically, as Wrath kind of like crawls away as the owlbear is mauling him, and the familiars rush up, and Rudy, you just start.
I get away like
Yeah.
Just kept crawling and it kept working.
And yeah, I go at him. Oh, I crit.
Oh yes.
So that's 30. Wait. Do I count my extra D4 in my crit as well?
Yep.
So 25 damage.
Okay.
And then the last. That's 14 damage.
What happens to this owlbear?
Can I incapacitate it with my last one? Can I knock it
Yeah.
on its head with the butt of my axe on the last?
You start cleaving into. Wilhelm, it's your turn. The other owlbear is growling and hooting aggressively, but it's holding its place.
With crawling wrath. I keep out of sight of the owlbear, but I step out here and like kind of wave over to you two. Shrine, generally.
That way.
I'm gonna just kind of
But unconscious. Wrath, what do you do?
Following Wilhelm's lead, I recall Bruce from chewing on any of the feathers that have Blaze drew, and I back away from keeping my face towards this other owlbear. And
Rudy, what are you gonna do?
Before I back away, of the incapacitated one, I just check inside.
Owlbears have teeth.
I step away. and I also move towards where Wrath is going.
got real close.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful creatures.
One time in the future, you can use that for some inspiration because you know the secret of whether or not owlbears have teeth.
I won D&D.
This is the first inspiration point ever given out.
Yeah, that's how many
But
episodes?
that's a long-standing tradition. Yeah. That's an old one. That's a group inside joke there. So you retreat and flee and leave the owlbears alone. Okay. You, pardon me. Fleeing the owlbear's nest, you continue along through the wooded coast towards the shrine of Meleki. It is approaching dusk. As you look down the kind of the curving coast of the lake, and you can see just the glimmer on the edge of the coast, whereupon kind of the rock builds up, and basically you can see that the escarpment builds up, and there's a greenish bonfire atop a ring of stones by a waterfall, with a rock jutting out, looking over the lake. Judging from the distance, make it to the shrine tonight, just after dusk, or you could camp out here tonight. It's probably another, like, you can see the shrine from here, but it's probably about another hour or two's journey.
I mean, you were mauled by an owlbear. Are you okay?
I
You still haven't gotten the wound on your leg looked at.
attacked me.
Also, you haven't slept in days.
What can I
This
animal?
is,
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Their claws probably aren't the cleanest.
Yeah, a lot of dirt in there. There's probably heavy amounts of dirt in your bloodstream. You look sad.
It's whatever this is.
But do you need to rest for at least an hour?
No,
you want to press
we
on?
must go.
Let's do it then. And before we go, I say, can you ask Bruce? Or maybe you know with your magic, if there's any thin places around here.
This is an area of old magic.
Something.
And here and there you see more of the smaller standing stones, but also actually see that there's owl bear feather fletching on many of these arrows that depict scenes of hunts, but particularly those move up towards the top of the escarpment, over the low roaring of the here, where at the center you can see the glow of a greenish bonfire river that flows into the lake. As you approach, there are bones and skulls strewn about the shrine. There are no signs of movement, though. No sign of any druids or any shrine or any sign of any people strewn about and scattered throughout the circle.
How fresh are the bones?
Pardon?
How fresh are the bones?
That hunter who got lost for 100 years in the blink of an eye. And perhaps even, I don't know if it's too much precaution, but maybe we should tie a rope to the outside of the circle if we are to enter it, so that we have something to hang on to, an anchor of sorts.
Tether us to this world.
As you speak, the sun goes down, and you hear a chorus of howling wolves in the distance. And that's where we're going to end for the night.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, a big thank you, as always, to our cast. Jill, Kelly, Joe, for playing this evening. Wrapping up a little bit early, but I don't want to start a dramatic scene when we're so close to the end of the night.
That's fair.
Oh, that's great.
And as always, a massive thank you to Kyle for all of the work he does behind the scenes. Tonight, keeping track of our brand new audio gear. There it is, the glorious thumb, the one, the only. Thank you so much for keeping track of our audio, hanging out in chat, keeping that camera rolling, doing all the good stuff you do. Yeah, keep it coming. And a huge thank you to our Dungeon Master, Monty Martin, for running another fantastic game. So wonderful. I feel like we're into this sort of like nature-esque adventure now. I don't know. We've been all over the place, and it's been so fun. And it's been we got werewolf stories and vampire stories and whatever the heck a Dulon is. So much to uncover.
What's a Dulon?
So thank you very much for another exciting game.
That was great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, we do actually use a variety of incredible assets produced by talented artists. We use them in our streamed games when we were streaming from home and in person. Monty, can you tell us a little bit more about some of these amazing creators?
Oh, yeah. We got some cool stuff by Dwarven Forge that we used earlier in the night, and we got some cool stuff that's been 3D printed from printable scenery.
So cool.
Cool stuff. And our minis we use Hero Forge minis and WizKids minis and minis of all sorts and shapes. So we got lots of fun stuff happening tonight.
And who does our music?
Well, the one and only Tabletop Audio. So please check them out and support them, because we couldn't do it without them.
Of course, don't forget to look at the links below for our Teespring store, where you can find all of your favorite Dungeon Dudes t-shirts, including Yes, Way Bigger Than Ducks, and the Dusk Wardens. Check out bit.ly/Dungeon Dudes merch.
And our videos and live streams, including the awesome new equipment that we've upgraded with, have been made possible thanks to the generous support of our Patreon community. If you enjoy our work, please consider becoming a patron of our show. You can find it by following the links below or at patreon.com/dungeondudes.
We also have a phenomenal Discord community that is exclusive for our patrons. So if you join our Patreon, make sure to join us on Discord, where you can chat with us about all things D&D, all things Drakenheim, and really any nerdy topics you feel like talking about. Also, keep in mind that with our recent Kickstarter success, we have just launched to all of our backers the playtest material. So we now have a special channel in our Discord for our Patreon community where people are just talking about what they're experiencing in the playtest. A lot of exciting stuff in there.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And of course, we post new videos every Tuesday and every other Tuesday and every Thursday on our YouTube channel, where we cover everything D&D, including advice for players and guides for DMs. Check it out at youtube.com/dungeondudes.
And be sure to join us live next Tuesday when we record the campaign live on Twitch. You can check us out from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time in the Shadows of Drakenheim.